Marvel Strike Force is down. Yes, I have not been able to log in for the past few hours, but surprise guys, it doesn't appear that Scopely was involved at all in this most recent outage. So we're going to discuss why the game went down, and yes, if the game is not up when you're watching this, when we might expect this game to come up. Also, Silver Surfer Milestones, are they ending soon? I'm going to discuss my most recent calculations for the date that I think we can the Silver Surfer raid milestones are ending, and also some recent bug fixes over the weekend. We got some news on that. We're discussing that all in this video, in addition to your mailbag questions. So if you're ready for it, guys, find that like button and let's go smash it. Yes, let's talk about some of these issues though. First, some issues, some version 5.7 issues and topics. This was released over the weekend for some issues that were fixed and were not fixed. And this is not related to the bug that is going on right now. Not really, I guess it's a bug, but not on Scopely's end. Here's some issues that we're tracking from 5.7. So the update was released last week, also not working correctly. And these are Scopely's faults, by the way. The monthly login calendar was not active in time for players in certain time zones. The calendar has been expended 1 day to ensure that all players get these rewards. These are fixed things. And occasionally a slot of teal gear will be missing from the gold supply store. It looks like that is fixed. I've been seeing more teal gear since this blog post was announced. And Sabretooth's ultimate ability was attacking enemies with the stealth buff. Appears to not be doing that anymore. So those are the things that was fixed. Now, Phoenix dies due to an assist or bonus stack. No Dark Phoenix. So it looks like there's going to be a hot fix. You're going to have to download a new version of the game as soon as that is up. But yes, the game is not even up right now, so we can't even check this stuff. Alliance War, anomaly detector error occurs when we're trying to move a team to one of the new slots using the defense teams, new characters. So if you were not aware of what happened, the defensive teams that you could put in each room went from 8 to 10 this past update. So I guess it was causing some fixes. And hopefully that will be fixing this soon. Hopefully we get a hot fix soon, but the game needs to come up. And some processes on some Android devices crashing occurring at 14%. Now this is different than what is happening right now with the game. Why I'm not able to log in. New Weapon X characters currently showing on the API, like websites like MSF.gg. They require more piece of teal gear than other characters. This is incorrect. The values are going to be lower to similar values as other characters. Experiment X started tracking 5 minutes late, and yes, they're going to be sending some compensation to players that were tracking this, but I guess it was intentional that the Wolverine skin, the Emma Frost skin, neither of them are going to be unlocked by free-to-play players. New players not receiving daily logins for new players on the days of September 8th through the 24th will manually activate these characters again. All right, that's good. And the leaderboards, we're going to talk about that. Relative to the Experiment event, X event has been removed and is not associated with any rewards, but we did see some screenshots of some pretty crazy things happening to leaderboards that we're going to discuss in just a little bit. The store for elementary particles is still active. We intend to deliver some compensation for this very soon. That did come out over the weekend. And Silver Samurai temporarily hidden. I was expecting him to come out today, but I guess with this outage going on right now, I don't know what to expect. And why do we have an outage in the game? Well, apparently it's Facebook and all of its apps go down simultaneously today. And this was updated just a few hours after since before starting recording this, but Facebook and its family of apps, including Instagram and WhatsApp, went down at the same time Monday, taking out vital communications platform used by more than 3 billion people, and also a lot of different softwares like Marvel Strike Force that relies on the Facebook login. So any app that uses that Facebook login is possibly not working as well. Adding heat to a company already under intense scrutiny. Facebook's apps, which include Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, Oculus, displaying error messages since around 11:40 Eastern Time, users reported. Within 5 minutes, Facebook disappeared from the internet. Hours later, sites were still not functioning, according to Down Detector, which monitors website and site activity. And outages were not uncommon, or technology outages are not uncommon, but to have so many apps go dark from the world's largest social media company at the same time was highly unusual. Facebook's last significant outage was in 2019 when a technical error affected its sites for 24 hours. What is going to happen? Are we going to get compensation in Marvel Strike Force, even though this has nothing to do with Boundless and Scopely? This is all Facebook's error. What is going to happen in the game if this takes 24 hours to come back? But that's what happened last time. And this is what Facebook is doing right now in the New York Stock Exchange, down 16% just today because of this outage. So who knows when it's going to come back. Hopefully, by the time you're watching this, the Facebook is up and everything is back to normal. And hopefully we get some compensation in Marvel Strike Force, even though this time is not Scopely's fault. But let's get to some of these questions, guys. First question of the week from the mailbag. And thank you for everybody that submitted a question to Discord, whether your question gets featured or not. Thank you for submitting your question. And if you want a question potentially featured in an upcoming Monday mailbag, guys, we do this every week. Make sure you join your Discord. The link is down below. But first question, could you please and this is more of a funny thing than anything, but can you explain how this is even possible? Or could this be some kind of catastrophic bug? Gets to be a bit of mailbag, but pictures are needed to believe it. So this was before they took down the leaderboard for the experiment. And we have this guy at the number 5 spot with a bunch of points here, Commander. But if we go look at this Commander, it looks like his collection power is only about 4,000, which means that either this person was a brand new player, spending a ton of cores, spending a bunch of energy to get this event. And unless he's doing it for those 14 days, not going to unlock that Wolverine suit. Or someone that is using some kind of burner account and doesn't even care that their account is going to get banned and just trying to see what they could do. Or maybe it is a bug. I don't know. It's very unclear nowadays in Scopely what is going on with these bugs and stuff, because we have very little communication last week of what is going on other than that message that we just saw earlier in the video. Not a lot of communication other than that. But yeah. I don't know. Hopefully we'll see what happens, but I don't think it affects most players either way what this individual is doing. But yeah, this is not a very friendly event. All right, next question though. Word up, ValleyFlyin. Greetings from the Philippines. My question is, how is your MFR experience? So Marvel Future Revolution, another game that I play, because mine was horrible, so horrible. In fact, I ran back to MSF, even though I quit a few months back to get my Marvel fix. You guys think Scopely is bad? Try hanging with Netmarble. Anyways, looking forward to watching your videos regarding relearning how to play again. Well, thank you for coming back. I hope you were watching some of the Future Rev videos while we're looking at that. But while we were discussing that, but let me talk about this game, because they're two different companies, two totally different games. Both companies, Scopely and Netmarble, love these gambling mechanics, so they're present in both of these games. The gameplay is different. One is a hero collector turn-based RPG. One is more of an action type with a lot of MMO elements. But let me just talk about this blog post that went out last week from the devs over at Netmarble. And this was, they also had an update in their game. And this was put out a couple days after their update because the community was generally unhappy with their update. And I discussed this over on my ValleyFlyin 76 channel, did a full video on this when this was released. But I want to read a few things for you guys just to get some of the difference in how Netmarble handles things and how Scopely handles things. Now, there's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of bugs in Marvel Strike Force, but I would have loved them to do a blog post like this after the update, post-update patch. So, greetings, agent. This is Marvel Future Revolution team. Today, we would like to start off by apologizing to our agents who are eagerly looking forward to the 9/29 update. Yes, coincidentally, both games had an update on the exact same day. We tried to provide our agents with the best gaming environment, gathering your information through various channels, listening to your voices. We tried our best to implement new improvements up to the very last minute. However, we encountered unexpected errors causing inconvenience to our agents' gameplay. Once again, we'd like to extend our apology regarding that matter. How refreshing would that be if we go and log into a Scopely blog post that starts like this? I would be like, whoa, what is this? Is this really Scopely, or has a different company taken over? We are thoroughly reviewing the feedback from each day from every one of our agents. We'd like to share some of our plans with you. And then they go into this detailed summary of what they do to kind of rectify that. And like I said, I covered that on my ValleyFlyin 76 channel. If you want to see some of the difference in the companies and how they respond to issues, though, that's probably the biggest highlight. The games are going to be what they are, and everybody's going to have a different level of enjoyment in each game because it's supposed to be a game, and everybody has their own preferences. But it's very telling how Netmarble handles issues and how Scopely handles issues. I wish Scopely was a little bit more like Netmarble and how they handled issues. But yeah, both games are going to add a lot of gambling and things like that. So be aware of that if you're looking for a change. But yes, let's move on to the next question. Sorry, the Google Drive link failed. I uploaded the most important screenshot to Imager about Emma. Yes, so that was actually my fault, brother. That was not your fault. We tried this on a live stream, and unfortunately, when things are live, everything not everything works as planned. So that was my bad. Everything just crashed when I tried to upload that image. But let's look at the screenshot this time. It's not on a Google Drive this time. All right. So this was the response in regards to Emma Frost's ability, her passive ability, reducing the speed bar if she's cloned. That was a question from the mailbag a while back. I wasn't sure of the answer, but we got an answer from customer service. So thank you, Dante Sparta, for sharing this, brother. Thank you for bearing with us as we update you regarding Emma Frost's passive ability. I've checked with the team, and it's been confirmed that the speed reduction can only apply once your opponents once to your opponents, as this mechanic only applies at the start of the battle. With that said, a clone Emma does not apply additional speed reduction. So good. I'm wondering if it's now this is describing a clone Emma, and I think it's regarding if you have an Emma on your team and you clone another one. But I think it also applies if you don't have an Emma on your team and you clone an Emma, it's not going to be reducing because that's calculated at the start of the battle. All this information helps. I think we have fully addressed your concern. I think you have as well. So yes, clone Emma, most likely not getting anything on the passive, any speed bar reduction, or at least that's how it's supposed to work according to this message. Who knows how it's going to work in Marvel Strike Force with all these recent bugs that are going on. Let's move on to ValleyFlyin with the new changes coming to War. We'll be posting a top 14 War offense and top 100 War defense video. Curious to see how many bench teams make a resurgence, if any. Yes, I will. What I want to do is get a few more wars under my belt. I've actually been playing it casually, so our lines isn't going crazy at the start of wars, but we still play this thing, and I don't know. I'm hearing some things about matchmaking not looking very good, things crashing, but my personal experience, I know this is not the norm, but I've been having some fun with War, and I don't know, maybe it's just we've gotten lucky with the past two matchups, but yes, so long answer, yes, I will be doing that. I do want to do some more wars though, but I will both for offense and for defense, so stay tuned for that on this channel, guys. Yo, what's up, Valley? So with the Wolverine rework now, who's the new target for Blitz W's? It was Gamora, but now no way, no more Wolverine either. I mean, you can still go after all of the Kree, not all of the Kree, but Ronin. You could go after Ronin. You could go some after the older characters that got reworked a while ago. Yondu is another good target. I don't see him that often, but basically any character that was released before Silver Surfer, not going to be as good, especially if they're non-synergized with the rest of the opponents on there. So I'll say Ronin. I'll say Bullseye. I'll say even right now, there's reworks. There's talk of Winter Soldier getting a rework. Unless he gets that rework, I think Winter Soldier is another good target for you. So there's a lot of crappy characters, bro. MSF is no shortage of crappy characters, but if you avoid some of those, if you target some of these older characters, look for year one characters, pretty much that were released at beta and soft launch. Most of those, unless they got a rework, are going to be pretty bad in the game. All right, with the reworks to Sabretooth and Wolverine, would you recommend any T4 upgrades on them now? And because the game is currently down as we're recording this, let's go into MSF.gg to look at these T4s here. For Sabretooth first. Now, right now, if we want to get super specific with this question, right now, no, because there's no Mega Red in the game. There's no Silver Samurai in the game. There's no Lady Deathstrike in the game. So where are you going to use them right now? I don't know. I don't know if you're going to use them a lot on offense, on defense. They're a lot better. And from a lot of the talk I've had, they're very, very good with their damage, but they're still very squishy. I think they were designed to be squishy for their healing, though. But as far as T4s, I think that the passive is a really good one. The ultimate is a really good one. And the special is a really good one for both of them. But it is going to be based on your usage right now. And without this full Weapon X team in the game, I don't know if you need to go too far in advance to start to T4 these characters, but for both of them, I like their special, ultimate, and passive. So that would be my recommendations. But Obviously, a lot of it's going to be determined on where you're using these characters, how you plan to use these characters afterwards, and yes, when their full team actually comes to the game. I think that's when you should pull the plug on this. I'll probably just save until then, brother. All right, but back to the questions of the week. Greetings from LA, ValleyFlyin. Greetings from TX, brother. It's been a while since I submitted a question for the Monday mailbag. Wanted to see if you could read my love letter to Scopely for the Emma RTA Battle Pass in this week's mailbag. Yes, so we go to the most recent blog post. It was revealed that, yes, unfortunately, Emma Frost is going to be released, or Emma Frost's costume is going to be released through the premium version of the upcoming Strike Pass. So, yes, you could get her shards from the non-paid version, but if you want to get that costume, that cool costume that I know some of you guys don't like, I like that costume though. You're gonna have to spend money if you want it. But back to the love letter. Let's check out what the love letter says. Dear Scopely, and I apologize in advance. I've not pre-screened this. Hopefully this stays at least PG-13. All right. I want to thank you for finally releasing an RTA Battle Pass with a prominent character in today's meta, Emma Frost. Pairing her with that sweet new costume shows that you're willing to give the players base exactly what they want. They need to progress their rosters in a meaningful and timely way. You're also providing a fresh new look to keep her as relevant as people continue to use her in multiple game modes. I look forward to the opportunity of spending my money and getting this character upgraded ASAP. Sincerely, where were you 9 months ago when I needed you? Thanks in advance. Yeah, and I think it's funny that we get another costume on a war defense character. How many war? It seemed like a lot of the early costumes were war defense characters that are going to stealth. How many do we have nowadays that are just pure war defense characters? I think a lot, but the game's not up, so I can't go in and count specifically. Let's move on. Valley, I hope you're doing well. I saw your mental health video and I can relate. You totally did the right thing looking after yourself. Hopefully this makes it into this week's news video. I do have a question though, so I do want to address that. Yeah, so last week, and now that I look back on why I wasn't as happy, it seems silly. It seems very petty, which is why I normally don't like to discuss things. But I was talking with a couple of my buddies at Jiu-Jitsu today, and you know what? They were going through a lot of the similar struggles that I had. You know, just not feeling happy, feeling a little down. Looking back when you're in a normal state, you're like, why was I not happy at that? But it seems like, at least from the people that I've talked to, it's kind of a common thing. So I hope that discussing it last week helps somebody. I hope discussing today helps somebody. But yeah, I think talking, and I think the big thing is you're not alone. If you're feeling a little depressed and down for no reason whatsoever, I think it seems, at least from the people I talked to, it seems common. So discuss it, and you're not alone if you're not feeling up to it and really don't have a reason for it. All right, but as for the MSF question, I'm all set for Omega Red. Nice. I'm heading into DD3. Haven't built a solid global team. Do you think I should pivot and try to bring Weapon X? They'll probably be super overpowered. Thanks for the help. Hulk fist bump. So again, Dark Dimension 3. You could do it Sinister. Actually, I'm thinking of Dark Dimension 4. Sinister, Emma, and Ghost were pretty strong. Global team, I mean, we had Phoenix as an option for DD3 back then, but I think with some characters like a Emma, maybe a Sinister, definitely a percent-based character that you could do damage with, like a what is the name? Ghost would be very good as well. But I think Omega Red will be good in Dark Dimension 4. I don't know if it's worth building this whole team up just for Dark. All right, I said Dark Dimension 4 for Dark Dimension 3. You're gonna build them up anyway and get that gear on them, take them up to gear 14, 13, even 15 for Dark Dimension 4. If you're planning to do that anyway, then yeah, try them out. I think they will be solid in there. But if you're not, again, this is designed to be a war offense team. And for me personally, raid characters get a little bit more love. Arena characters get a little more love than those war characters. They probably will have a lot of use outside of just specific war, just because that's how because a lot of the legendary characters will. But yeah, I think they should be good in there. But I wouldn't specifically bring them for Dark Dimension 3. I would build up characters that you're already going to use in other modes like the raids or arena. Build those characters up, and then start to go down to war offense if that's not enough. That's just my mentality, trying to save resources. But yeah, I hope that helps. That I think they'll be good. I just think there are other teams that are better, so I wouldn't build them specifically for Dark Dimension. But if you're building them anyway, they probably would be good in there. All right, so Valley, this whole mythic legendary, you think is a real thing? Like they actually have regular legendaries releases in the future? No. That's just a marketing thing. They just want it to feel not as bad because Adam Warlock had ISO 8 requirements. Omega Red has ISO 8 requirements. Probably every character, legendary character in the future is going to have ISO 8 requirements. But yeah, I don't think they're going to go back to legendaries. I mean, how would that feel? Like, oh, the past legendary was a lot better. This one that we're selling you now is not as good. He's not going to require as much, but this is a little easier to get. I don't know if that would be an easy sell. So I think going forward, it's going to be all mythic legendary. Seems a bit shady to have both Adam Warlock and now Omega Red released as mythic, when I have no faith they'll ever release any future legendaries without the ISO 8 requirement that fully make them fully mythic. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think they're going to release any more normal ones. I just, from a marketing perspective, I don't think that makes sense. Quick follow-up, if you don't mind. Power creep has made legendaries feel a lot less legendary, in my opinion. Yeah, every character since Silver Surfer has been very different from the characters previous to that. With Phoenix coming around again this week, hearing people are unlocking her with Doom got me thinking back to the way I unlocked her and how powerful she felt. Yeah, that was about 2 years ago, though, and this is a game that has to constantly add characters, and if they want to sell these characters, they have to make them stronger than the previous characters. So it does make sense that Phoenix is not as good, but apparently even when the game comes up, she's not going to be working until we get that hotfix added to the game. With Adam Warlock and now Omega Red, the only thing that makes them legendary is Safeguard and Trauma debuff. Take those away, and they're on par with most of the legendary characters released since Silver Surfer was sort of shame. Sorry for the long ranty post, but I love your content. Yeah, I don't know if it's something to rant about. I think it's just kind of how the game has progressed. So it just kind of is what it is. I think it's a little shady that they're calling it mythic, kind of implying that there would be some regular legendaries coming later, but I don't think there's any regular legendary coming. I think they're all going to be mythic, having the ISO 8 requirements and gear requirements as well. Valley, greetings from Singapore. With a recent milestone for Wolverine costume and the Emma costume being in the same season pass, it makes getting this costume so much more difficult. Does not seem worth the effort, money given. It's just a cosmetic display change. You think it's a good idea that Scopely try to add more stuff with the costume? Maybe like having costume grants the tune improvement stats or unlocks and change the ability to be better. That way the effort for these costumes seems a little bit more worthwhile. You know what? I gotta say, this doesn't feel good. And especially given that we've had previous costumes easy to obtain. And now in this patch, we get these two costumes that you're not going to obtain unless you spend a bunch of money. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing, but I do think it should have been communicated beforehand to give a little less of this bad feeling that I have right now. And I know a lot of the players have now, but if we think about this, Heartgrave did make a good point on the weekly news update. I think I would rather have it like this, where you're paying for cosmetic upgrades that don't really make a change to the general gameplay. It's not going to give players that spend a lot of money a huge advantage. Yeah, it doesn't feel good because I do want those costumes, but if it's just visual and it's not affecting the gameplay, if that's where Scopely wants to dedicate making their money and leave other changes like characters or gear or easing up on bottlenecks on those, I think if this thing sells very good, I think it could have a impact on hopefully reducing, or maybe I'm being too optimistic. As I'm saying that through my head, that's what a lot of normal companies would do. They sell one thing, they ease it up to give that feel-good moment. Well, Scopely would probably, this is selling good. Let's sell this from now. Oh, and let's keep charging for this stuff. So never mind what I was saying. But if that is what they would do in a hypothetical situation, charging more for these costumes that don't provide any gameplay advantage, just cool, like shiny new toys type visual upgrades, and then we're not having to pay for other things to progress in the game. I think that could be good, but yeah, that's more hypothetical. I don't think that's how Scopely's going to do business, but yeah, it definitely could be better. I like having it not have the stats though. I did kind of enjoy new kits, things like that in Future Fight, but I do see how in this game where it's a little more designed about their kits and not as much action type, because Future Fight is action RPG. This is a turn-based RPG. The kit is gonna matter a lot more in a turn-based RPG than it does in an action RPG. So I would not like to see it. I'd like to keep it this way, and I hope this makes it a little more easy for free-to-play players to get stuff in the game. But yeah, I think I might be a little too optimistic for that one. All right, Valley, where do you think Silver Surfer will be going after a stint in the raid milestones is over? Who do you think will replace him? I think we'll go to Premium more, maybe replaced by Deathpool. Take it easy. I think now let's go look at this. We gotta do some history here to do some investigating. I did some minor calculations here. So if we go back to this blog post, April 16th, we scroll all the way down. This is when we had that arena store upgrade. I was hoping it would be a little different. I was a little more optimistic than now. But all right, so the raid season milestones, hurtling your way to this hurtling your way soon is the next chance to earn Silver Surfer character shards in the raid season milestones starting April 18th. So I use that as a basis 2 weeks apart. So I think, and I can't go into the game right now to confirm because the game's down. I believe yesterday was when the 12th season of these raids started, and they may have went back and said they're adding an additional season because of some weird bug that was going on or some offers. So there may be 16, but assuming that this is correct, only 15 seasons, that would bring my calculations to the 15th season and last season, if this is in fact a season. November 14th is when the last season is going to start, and November 28th is when the last season is going to begin. That is assuming that this is in fact 15. That is assuming my calculations were right, and that's assuming that they remember to remove that they said only 15 seasons, and they're not going to keep extending this. I don't know if it would be a bad thing if they extend it though. But yeah, who would we replace? I don't think Deathpool. I think it's going to be a character released around the 28th of November. There's been rumors of Thunderbolts. There's been rumors of Eternals coming in November sometime. So I would say whatever character is going to be released around that time, we're probably going to get that character added to that next raid season milestones. But that is my guess. I have not heard anything from Drew as far as rumors or anything like that. And if anybody knows some inside information, let me know in the comments, brother. All right, so next question is, why isn't that working? Why is it not going to the last question? Oh, because that was the last question. That is it, guys. I was wondering why I was going. We're a little light on the questions this week. I know that the interest in the game is a little lower, so hopefully you guys like some of the stuff I do on the weekends. So what are we going to do on this channel? The weekends, going to do some other type of content. This past weekend, we did some meme review. Might continue to do that for a few weeks and then move on to something else if you guys don't enjoy that. But yeah, we're doing some other kind of content on the channel on the weekends, so check that out. And then we're going to continue to cover Marvel Strike Force during the week. Hopefully the game comes up very soon. Hopefully Facebook gets their stuff together and we get this game. Also got a tournament coming up for Jiu-Jitsu, not this week, but the following Saturday. So yeah, I got a little bit of a sort of a black eye. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. I don't see it on the screen, but I looked all beat up, and I may be looking more beat up this week because this is a hard training week, and next week is this tournament, and then that's the light training week. So I go in with as little injuries as possible. But that is it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helped. Hopefully it answers some questions and brings some clarity to what is going on right now in Strike Force. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit that subscribe button, share this with your friends, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. I will see you guys next time. We'll be back in the morning on Twitch for the ValleyFlyin 76 channel with the Valley Club in the morning. And we'll be back tomorrow with another Marvel Strike Force video. And we'll be back tomorrow on the ValleyFlyin 76 channel for another Marvel Future Revolution video. There's a lot of stuff. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Give me that fist bump. And I will see you guys next time. ValleyFlyin out.